G'day everyone, Buck up in a beautiful far north Queensland. Geez, the weather's good up here at the moment. Absolutely stunning weather. Just done my last drive for a while, so might be time to try and get the boat out before we go on our next camping trip, which brings me on to this subject. As you know, in a couple of weeks we're going camping down in South Queensland at the Legends camping event. It's down outside a little place called Allara, which is near a bigger town called Warwick in South Queensland, not too far from the New South Wales border, a couple of hours. I used to live in Warwick, and let me tell you, it gets bloody cold down there. All out there in southwest Queensland, very cold in winter time. A lot of people think Queensland's warm. Not down there, it's not in winter. Very, very cool mornings. I think Steve and Annie out in Kingaroy cracked it for minus 1.5 degrees Celsius the other morning. So it does get cold down there. Frosts, and they were even expecting a little bit of snow in Stanthorpe the other day. It does snow in Stanthorpe sometimes. You know it's getting cold when Queensland gets snow right down near the border. Certainly a long way from snow here. We put an extra blanket on the bed last night, guys. It got below 20 up here in far north Queensland. It is cool. We enjoy a bit of the cool snaps, I must admit. It's good to bloody get in bed and have an extra blanket on. People down south probably thinking, Buck, you're going soft putting an extra blanket on and it's only like just under 20 degrees. But we don't like the cold weather up here. That is why I'm experimenting with a few things. Lukey Reed was here the other day and we looked at his companion Aero Heat, which runs on gas, and I was very impressed with that thing. I was, in the back of my mind, I still wouldn't be surprised if down the track I get one. If I'm going on a long trip down south, I may end up with one of those things. Couldn't help myself. Everyone's getting on the bandwagon. I bought a bloody diesel heater, guys, a little cheap ass Chinese diesel heater. When we had the caravan, we were camping down in Tasmania and Victoria and New South Wales, and it wasn't even winter time. And let me tell you, some of the mornings down there, we had ice on the windscreen when we woke up. And that caravan we had, the Jawa Sirocco, you can say the same for any of those Chinese hybrids. The insulation in those things was shite. I've seen Eskies with better insulation. That caravan got very, very cold, and you could feel the coolness radiating in the morning. I had to put a doona between myself and the wall of the caravan. It got that cold in there. When we were on 240 volts, Roz and I bought a little $30 fan heater from Bunnings, and it did the job. It did it very, very well. But if you want to go camping off grid, unless you want to run a generator all night, which isn't an option for me, you've got to have something else. I got a quote to get a diesel heater, a Webasto, which is a well-known brand. The air conditioner in the caravan was Webasto, very good. $3,500 to get a diesel heater installed. I thought, you are kidding. I know a lot of people install Chinese diesel heaters by themselves. I didn't have the confidence to do that, and I didn't want to go drilling holes in my caravan at the time. I could have done with a diesel heater down there, I must admit. They are so cheap now, the portable diesel heaters, and Steve Fuller mentioned to me that he was going to get one. I had a look at the price and I thought, you know what, for 170 bucks, I'm just going to buy one and test it out. If I never use it, who cares? I'm down 170 bucks. When I went into it's a Vevor, V-E-V-O-R, you'll see it in a minute, and it was $170, 172 or something like that, free delivery. Well, when you go into PayPal, she ain't free delivery. It was about 50 bucks delivery. So for 230, how much was it? No, it was about 220. 220 bucks delivered. I've got a diesel heater. I fired it up last night, and let me tell you, it piffs out the hot air. I'm pretty impressed with it. And you'll see soon, the one thing I am not impressed with is the ticking bloody fuel pump on it. And everyone, all the Yanks and that over there, say the same thing, the ticking diesel pump. Maybe there's a work around that, I do not know. I cranked it up, I had to put a Anderson plug on. It doesn't come with a plug, can you believe that? I thought it would have come with a cigarette plug. It doesn't. So I'll put an Anderson plug on it, and then I've got an Anderson to cigarette adapter. So it's up and running. I can run it off my battery box, off the camper trailer or whatever, which I'll do in a minute. I'll show you what it came with, and then I'll show you what my future plans for it are. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you the item. I'm not going right through it. I'm still trying to learn how to use the control panel. There's timer on, so you can set it to come on at 5 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever it may be. I'm still learning how to do that. I'm not going to go through a how-to series. I'm just going to give you a look, because I'm still experimenting with this. I don't even know if I'm taking this on the camping trip. Next year, Roz and I want to go on another big trip. We want to go down south again. We want to be prepared for it this time. We're not in a caravan anymore. Roz is in an Oz tent. I'm in a rooftop tent. So when we go down to the Legends camp, if I do take this thing, this is mainly for Roz, so that she can still sleep on a stretcher in the Oz tent. I'm going to be up in a rooftop tent. I've slept in cold weather before, guys. I did 20 years in the army. Believe me, I have slept in cold weather before. But I just don't want Roz to go through that in the Oz tent. I want her to be nice and comfortable. And I reckon Rafa will sneak in with her too. Right, going to pull this up, show you what it comes with, and then going to turn it on and take you through the startup procedure and show you how easy they are. Cannot believe these things were $170, $220 delivered, and they wanted to charge me $3,500 for a Webasto, which I still think is probably made in China. Correct me if I'm wrong. $3.5 grand to install one in my caravan. Come on, get real. And I know a lot of the boys out there are buying these portable ones and are coming up with ways to run them to warm down their caravan. So I'll be interested to see how Steve and Snorky and all them do it on when I get down there. And anyway, stop jibber jabber and buck, get it on the table and show everyone what it looks like. So I was going to take you through the technical bloody description of it, weights and all that, and I can't find it in the instruction manual, everyone. Most of the instruction manual is about how to operate the control pad at the front, timers and all that type of stuff. But hey, if a dummy like me can work out the basics, there it is there. I don't know what the box said it was 10 kilos, but that was with all the accessories and I guess the packaging and everything. But I'll tell you now, that is lighter than the Lukey's Aero Heat the other day. It's less than 10 kilos. I'm guessing maybe 8 or whatever. I'm impressed by the size. It's fairly compact. And the fuel tank's about a gallon, guys, about 4 litres or whatever. I saw a Yank the other day running this, I think it was the same model. He ran it for 12 hours in snow and reckons he used 2 litres of fuel. It was good to see Yanks talking in litres too. He didn't say half a gallon, he said 2 litres. We're slowly converting the Yanks over to metric, guys. It'll happen one day. But anyway, an internal fuel tank there. So it's, for a portable system, it is quite compact. Got a good carry handle on it. The accessories it came with is, that's a direction thing that goes into there. That's like a slightly extendable pipe which goes on the front there that you can go into the tent. I have got on to eBay and ordered a 3 metre. It's a 1.5 extends to 3 metres, so I can run a 3 metre pipe either into the rooftop tent or into the Oz tent. So and it only cost $20 something. I've got a 3 metre piece of that coming. That's a bit too short for me, so 3 metre piece coming. Also comes with a air filter, air intake, which clips on the bottom, and also the exhaust. Now that little muffler comes separate. I've hose clamped that on, and this goes underneath like that. So you've got a muffler, exhaust, the air intake which goes underneath. I'll show you how to do that soon. And the cable that it came with just came with bare wire. So I've put an Anderson plug on there, soldered an Anderson plug on, bit of heat shrink, and because the Jackery, which I'm going to take camping with me, the Jackery, well, and the camper trailer here's got cigarette lights. I've got an Anderson 2 cigarette connector there. So I just plug the Anderson connector in to my soldered on one there, and then I can use that there to plug into the Jackery or into the camper trailer. If I wanted to use my other battery box, it's got Anderson plugs on there. I wouldn't need this cable here. I just unclip it and I can put the Anderson plug straight in. Wish the Jackery had an Anderson plug, I really do. But anyway, So there you go. That's it there, everyone. Fuel tank, that's where the heat comes out, that's where it comes out, and that just goes on like that on the front. Like that. Comes with a remote. Now, I've got to work out if this has got Bluetooth. As I said, I only got this yesterday. I fired it up yesterday and last night, and just to see if it works. It does, it works really well. I'll give you a demo soon. I'm still learning how, if it's even got Bluetooth, learning how to use the control panel for timer and all that. I'll work that out as I use it more. And the other thing Rob Richmond said to get is, just for safety, obviously never run this inside a caravan or inside a tent, guys. Anything like a generator, anything that has exhaust fumes, don't ever run it inside a building, a caravan, a camper trailer, a tent, anything. You will die of carbon monoxide poisoning. This thing has to be outside, okay? The only thing that goes inside the tent is the hose where the hot air comes out, okay? Rob Richmond said just be safe, just in case it has a malfunction and exhaust fumes get in somehow and come out where the hot air goes. I went to Bunnings this morning for under $30, a carbon monoxide alarm, which I put in the tent wherever that's running. Better safe than sorry. You may not need it. Better safe than sorry, just in case, I don't know, some exhaust fumes do inhale and come out where the bloody hot air does. I don't know, it may not ever happen. Better safe than sorry. For under $30, that could save your life. So I'm going to put that in the tent, turned on obviously, so if that goes off during the night, Roz can wake up and get out of the tent and let me know, and I can shut this down. I don't think that'll ever happen, but hey, Rob said get one of them, good peace of mind. So I did. So carbon monoxide alarm. All right, now how am I going to do this? I'm going to cut the camera and I'm going to tell you roughly how I think this is going to work, okay? And then we'll go through the startup procedure so it doesn't go too long. Righto, if you see my setup, I'll just give you a thing. I've got her about half full there with diesel. Nice, easy. I'll tell you what, the old scrunnel funnel helped too, filling that up. The scrunnel fits in there beautifully. The old scrunnel funnel. So, the air intake just goes through this hole and clips on underneath, and there's the exhaust pipe there. Now it says to hose clamp them, they go on and they're nice snug fit underneath. So there's the exhaust pipe with the muffler on the end to keep it a bit quieter. So I've just got it sitting on a metal table there, so nothing can burn on there. Air intake, this is where the hot air comes out, everyone. Control panel, I'll show you that soon. The exhaust, so cable up into my cigarette thing here. So this whole area will be under the 270 awning, so it's out of the rain and all that type of stuff. What I intend to do is, with that 3 metre piece of hose, Roz's Oz tent the front of it will be over here. So we're going to run the hose from here into the front of the Oz tent somehow and zip it up, okay? So the hot air goes in there. I've got a 3 metre piece coming. What I intend to do so that the exhaust fumes don't come back under the awning is maybe put that up against the trailer so the exhaust fumes go out underneath the trailer there, okay? And it's well ventilated over there. Air intake there. She's plugged in. And I've got the control panel here, which I hope you can see. It comes with a remote control, which I shall take off, if I can get it off, one-handed. Come on. Right, I got him. So, the remote here, basically it's on, off, and up and down. It's got a control panel here too. So all I'm going to do now is I've got fuel in it, my exhaust pipe's on, the heat pipe is on, and the air intake is there. It needs nice clean air, obviously. Take that off there. So I've got power, my green light's on there, and the control panel is there. I've got to adjust the time yet. Oh, that's the time there. I haven't adjusted the time yet. So All I do now is hit on.
Stop heating.
Start heating, it says.
Thanks for using. I wish you a safe journey.
Thanks for using. I wish you a safe journey.
Start heating.
Start heating, there we go. I've got it on the low setting there, 8 degrees. Now, this takes about 3 minutes. Don't get impatient. I can hear it starting to come up now. So in the instruction manual, I turn it on. Now, hopefully I can do this Bluetooth well. I'll work through that. I've turned it on. I can feel a little bit of air coming out of there now. It hasn't started heating yet. It says be patient. Be patient. Let it do its startup. It takes about 3 minutes before it starts really cranking up, okay? What I might do is bring this out so we can see it a bit better. Okay, so I've got the exhaust going out underneath the trailer there so it doesn't come up under the 270. Hopefully it'll just fill that. Here we go. Fuel pump coming in. I've only got it on the low setting. And that fuel pump, tick, 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 it is quite loud. And that's the one thing, I've got something in my eye. One thing a lot of people have said, I can smell some fumes now, it's starting to crank up. Here it goes, it's just starting to go now. You can hear starting to come out, some hot air starting to come out the muffler. And as it gets going, here she goes, builds up again, it slowly builds up. No hot air yet. So there's air coming out, but it's not hot yet. It's still going through its startup procedure. You can hear it starting to crank up now. Here she goes. She's starting to get serious now. Hot air starting to come out now. It's warming up. I've only got that on the low setting. I've got it on, it goes from 8 degrees to 31. I've got it on 8, and let me tell you, I think that air's hot enough. I don't know how that temperature works. 8 degrees to me is cold, but it's not. That's nice warm air coming out of there now. That is warmer than what was coming out of the companion aero heat. Big time. Still picking up speed, and then once it gets going it drops down again because I've only got it on the low fan setting. You can still hear that fuel pump ticking. Apparently there's a way you can replace them and get a silent one, so I guess if that's under the camper trailer, hopefully you won't hear it too much. Still picking up speed now. And then it just tick, tick, so it's gone. You can feel the fuel pump has gone from going tick, 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 just to going tick, tick, tick. That is now, I think, fully operational. And that air has just got hotter. That is on the low setting now. I reckon that amount of air on the low setting and on the lowest temperature will be more than enough to heat a tent up. I don't even think you'd need that on all night. Like that's, you never know. The Oz tents are, it's an RV5, it's quite a large tent. It's a bit different to just holding my hand in front of it. Like that is hot. I can't hold my hand right over that nozzle, it's too hot. Back here it's fine. So I think with the longer hose here on the low setting and on the lowest temperature, that is going to be warm enough for the Oz tent. I don't think you need it anywhere near the highest heat. I really don't. So this thing will be 3 meters long. Extend it out, put it in somewhere in the tent, zip it up or through the floor somewhere. Hot air rises, so you don't need to have it up high. You can put it down low. Hot air rises, as we know, and I reckon that'll keep that Oz tent toasty warm. that muffler gets very hot, the exhaust pipe. You can hear it at night. The exhaust, my only concern is that tick, tick, tick. I reckon that'd piss you like it. Once you get to sleep, you'll be right. Hopefully you haven't got any neighbours to piss off. But there it goes. That is pumping out beautiful warm air. And as the American said, he ran in the snow the other night for 12 hours and it used about half a gallon, which is what, 2 litres of diesel. I carry 40 litres on the trailer. So there you go. I've got a nice, it's not too bad. My only is that bloody ticking sound. It's very good on the power. I've seen the Americans on there. It doesn't chew through your lithium battery at night, guys. You'll use a little bit. It doesn't, it's not like putting a fan heater on there or anything like that. All you're doing is powering the diesel pump really, and maybe the little screen here. So it doesn't draw a lot of power out of your battery. Don't think it's like a fan heater and your battery's going to be flat in the morning. It's not like that. I saw the American guy the other day. His battery was 82% or something when he turned it on, and the next morning it was on 78 or whatever the next morning. So it's minimal draw in your battery. As long as you're driving the next day, you get solar or whatever, you can charge your lithium battery back up. But this thing does need 12 volts to power up, okay? You've got to have a 12 volt source to power it, to get it going. And it runs on diesel, obviously, to warm the air. And that air is hot. It's not warm like the companion aero heat. You put your hand there and you go, oh, that'll take the chill out of the air. This will warm the tent down. And I don't think we'll need that on all night. Roz has got some doonas and a heavyweight sleeping bag. Even if she just goes into the tent, we run this up an hour before Roz goes to bed, warm the tent up so she goes into a nice warm tent, gets inside the sleeping bag, and then I can turn it off. And listen, in the morning, if it's freezing cold in the morning, I can crank it up, and within 5 minutes, you've got hot air going back into the tent. So that's an option, and I can do that. Roz can go to bed and she can just point this through the front of the Oz tent and turn it off. So you can adjust it. There's a timer on there. You can set the temperature if you want it high or low. I've got it on the lowest setting and I've got it on the thing. Go plus there. That's the temperature there. I've got it down on the lowest temp and it is still hot there. Hit mode. I hit mode and I should be able to adjust the speed of the fan. There's an M button there for mode. Hit it once and it goes temperature. Hit it again and it goes to the speed. So I can, if I want more air blowing in the tent, I just go up. Up she goes. You can hear the fuel pump clicking over a bit faster now. You can hear it churning up. It's blowing a lot more air out now. So when I first start this up, I'll have it up on a higher fan setting to blow as much hot air into the tent and warm the tent down as quickly as I can. And then once you're in there, turn it down. Roz can turn it down to 1 using the remote. And then if she goes, nah, it's too hot in here now, I don't need it, I'm warm, I'm in the sleeping bag, I've got my 12 volt electric blanket on, my kick-ass electric blanket, she can just get the remote and go,
Stop heating.
stop heating, that said then, in a Chinese voice, stop heating. Don't unplug it from the power source now. It takes another 2 or 3 minutes to fully power down. Don't grab the exhaust pipe straight away, okay? It's bloody hot. Let it cool down. You'll see it. Once it goes off, that's still nice and warm. A little bit of air still coming down. Let it do its shutdown procedure. It's a 2 or 3 minute startup procedure to get hot air, and it's a 2 to 3 minute shutdown procedure. Let it do its thing. Don't get impatient. I got there the other night and went, oh, the air's not coming out. And then I read the book and said, be patient, can take 2 to 3 minutes to get the full operation. I just sat back and left it and let it go through and do its stuff. This thing, I'm pretty impressed with it, I must admit. The hot air coming out of these things is unbelievable. I reckon it might get too hot in the tent. But hey, just to be nice to go into a night, you know, on a freezing cold night. If at 5 o'clock in the morning you go, Ros goes, oh, it's too cold, she can just pick the remote up in the tent and hit on. That's all she should have to do, is go on, let it go through, and in 3 minutes time, hot air will start pumping into the tent. All right, through a 3 metre one of these, which I've got on order. I was hoping these things would stretch a lot more, they don't, but I've got another 3 metre piece coming. There you go, guys, the Vevor, if that's how you say it, portable diesel heater. I'm pretty impressed. The only thing is that bloody click, click, click of the diesel pump. They all do it. Apparently there is a way around that. I've got to learn how to use the Bluetooth and all that type of stuff. Apparently you can adjust it off your phone and all that. I'll get to that. When I go to pack it up, once this cools down, I'll show you how I pack it up. The muffler and the air intake, I just pull off the bottom. I don't need to use the hose clamps there. They're a nice firm fit. Okay, same as this thing here. That just comes off. This thing here goes on the end as well. And basically what you can do there is aim the air sideways. That's the direction you want the air. You can have it like that or like that to make the air go up. So that just goes onto the end of the snorkel there. It's a pretty simple bit of kit for $170, isn't it? And it's efficient on the battery and it's efficient on fuel. Not bad so far. I'm pretty impressed, guys. I'm pretty impressed. I just hope it's not too loud at night if you're camping near people. I guess if you're free camping and you're out remote, it doesn't really matter, okay? But you don't want to be pissing your neighbours off. Diesel heaters are fairly noisy. They're certainly not silent. I know we were camping beside people at Cradle Mountain in Tasmania last year, and I could hear his diesel heater when I woke up and went for a piss or whatever. I could hear it, but once I was asleep, it didn't worry me. Anyway, I'll let that cool down properly. It's still going through a shutdown procedure. I can still feel air coming out of there. You'll know when it's fully shut down. You'll feel no air whatsoever. Let it do its shutdown procedure. Go away, make a coffee and all that. By the time...
I wish you a safe journey.
There you go. Now it's finished. Thanks for using. I wish you a safe journey. Now it's finished its shutdown procedure. What was that? 3 minutes maybe? Anyway, put a comment down. What do you reckon? I'll show you how I'm going to carry that now. I've got a bag there that I think it's going to fit perfectly in. I was just going around the house and I was thinking, I like to have all my stuff in a bag if I can, rather than floating around loose. And I thought, have I got a bag around that'll fit this diesel heater in there? Well, have a look what fits absolutely perfectly. The old Crazy Dog canvas duffel bag, guys. The Mrbuckaroonie duffel bag from Crazy Dog Canvas. This is the standard one. You can also get the Mrbuckaroonie Army duffel bag with the 16-ounce Bulldog TT 15-ounce ripstop canvas. But this is just the standard one. Crazy Dog there. The Mrbuckaroonie. So if you've got one of these portable diesel heaters, I've got a bit of high density, just a bit of shower mat, like high density foam, just cut off some shower mat, put in the bottom of the bag just to give it that rectangular shape and a bit of protection on the bottom. I've got the diesel heater in there. I've got the exhaust pipe, the air intake pipe, that snorkel. My 3 metre bit won't fit in there. I'll just throw that in somewhere else. I've got my carbon monoxide alarm there. I've got the the little remote control. There's internal pockets there. Have a look at this. Absolutely made to fit. Look at that. Bit of foam in the bottom to protect it, so I can just put that now in the back of the BT50 or in the camper trailer. I've got plenty of room in the camper trailer there. It's not heavy. It's not heavy, guys. It's not heavy. It's about 8 kilos, so it's definitely lighter than the Companion Aero Heat Lukey Reed had. This is a good portable system. So if we're expecting a freezing cold night, we get up, set up our camp, set the Oz tent up, and if we are expecting a really, really cold night, I can just pull out my little aluminium coffee table here, set it up on there. You've seen how easy it is to set it, plug it into the camper trailer, have the exhaust pipe poking out underneath the camper trailer, away from the awning. I'll have a 3 metre bit of pipe that I can put off the end. And when we're ready to heat the tent, I just grab the remote and hit on and let it do its thing. That's how easy it is. Yeah, I'm going to learn how to use and set the timer and all that type of stuff. But there you go. If you have got one of these portable square, there are the higher ones, the higher, skinnier ones that won't fit in this bag. But if you've got one of these square ones, guys, and you want a storage bag for it, I didn't know if this would fit. It is perfect. Look at that. The Mrbuckaroonie Crazy Dog Canvas duffel bag. Perfect fit with all the accessories. I'm even happier now. This is a good bit of kit. Longevity, how long will it last? I don't know. I don't know. If I'd like to take it into someone and go, can you fix the clicking diesel pump? Someone might know, might be able to do something to stop that clicking noise. They all do it. It's not just this one. They all do it. You watch any film clip on this diesel heater, they all click. I think most diesel pumps do. They've got a clicking fuel pump. But there is a way around it. I've seen an American said that he's worked out a way to stop the clicking. So that'll be down the track anyway. But if Roz and I ever want to travel down south again and we want to do tent camping, this thing will be, especially if we're going to Tassie or Victoria, guys, this thing will be coming with us. Even if we just use it for a couple of hours at night and then a couple hours in those real cold, maybe 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when it gets really cold, just before dawn, maybe crank it up for a couple of hours then. So when you get out of bed in the morning, you're in a nice toasty warm tent, so you can get up, get changed, and then come out and make a brew. There you go, the Vevor, if that's how you say it, $170 diesel heater. And it heats well. It spits out the hot air really, really well. Anyway, let me know what you reckon. Have you got one? Is there a better trick? Is there something I'm doing wrong? If there's a better way I can utilise this thing. I've only had it for a day, guys. I haven't had a bit of a play around. I've got a rough idea on how I'm going to deploy this with the camper trailer. Sit it on that table, have the exhaust poking out underneath the camper trailer so that I don't have any exhaust fumes under the 270 awning, which is still fairly well ventilated anyway, and then have that longer pipe, which I've ordered on eBay, the 3 metre bit of pipe running into the Oz tent. Roz can turn it on and off using the remote control, and it's powered by the camper trailer, the lithium battery in the camper trailer. Just plug the cigarette lighter in. That's going to work really, really well. All right, let me know what you reckon. Throw a comment down. Catch you later, eh? See ya.